51, 138. Certainly one of my favorite things to do in terms of float fishing in RF4 is to try to catch the Kessler's herring. And right now there's an alright spot. It's not your best Kessler's herring spot ever, but it's certainly pretty good. It's active, right? The problem is it's a little infested with roach. You can't even say that common roach are your bycatch, right? You almost got to say it's just about as much of a roach spot as it is a Kessler's herring spot. But you're still going to get a lot of Kessler's herring, and that's good enough for me. So let's see if we can catch one here, and then I'll kind of show you our setups. And then we'll just fish for them for a bit. I've tried different baits, but I keep coming back to the original one that I tried based on the weeklies. Also saw this spot listed on VK. So at this point, this is a fairly known spot, I'd say. I'll show you where we are on the map in a second, but where we are on the map, really like all over this area, little Kessler's herring spots pop up. Alright, is it a roach? It is a herring. It's a roach. This is what I'm talking about. We're getting lots of roach. There we go. It's almost 50-50. That kind of worked out good, didn't it? That's not a bad Kessler's herring. If you can average that size, or get that size fairly often, you're not too upset. Oh, shoot. Well, let's catch another couple, then or try to catch another couple, and then I'll show you what we're using here. Is that another roach? Man, this is like working out perfect. Now this one needs to catch a Kessler's herring, and then we're good, right? 50-50. It's like proving my point perfectly. Another 300-gram Kessler's herring. So we got a 755 Kessler's. That's not bad. It's not like a world beater, but you start getting up near 800 grams, you're feeling pretty good about a Kessler's herring that size, and a roach over a kilo. So be careful on your fluorocarbon line. I mean, that's the largest thing we've seen, and these are literally, I think the dace, like I got some dace down here. This was a different bait combination. Bark beetle, mayfly. We'll see if that's the true for all of them. Not mayfly larva, mayfly. That actually is what we're using. So this is what we've been using. Mayfly larva, mayfly. We got a size 10 hook on this one. By the way, I'm just casting at an angle here at about 50% or so. On the second rod, we've got a 12 hook. I've fished for Kessler's herring with like 18 hooks before. So don't feel like you have to go this big, but I do kind of like pressing your luck in these situations, just trying to get a real fat one. And the bite rate seems to be okay, even at a little bit of oversized hook action. Look how slow they're drifting. Is it the wind? Yeah, the wind is blowing them. It's like keeping them. This is perfect. You're getting the drifting with the current notification, but they're barely moving because of the wind. This feels like a perfect situation. You're not going to hardly ever have to recast them. You're almost always going to get a bite because it's so slow down the current. This is new, by the way. The whole time I've been doing this, catching these fish, it has not been doing this. The wind just picked up. Hopefully it doesn't ruin the fishing. It's 8:15 in the morning, so we should still be catching decent ones. You can catch them here all day. Not in the night, but you can catch them all day. You're just more likely to get the big boys early and late. Man, I kind of feel like that wind is doing something to our bite rate. It's only like, oh, it is 9.4. That's some big boy wind. Alright, what you got here? Oh, be a Kessler's. Yes! What is that? It's so big, I'm not sure that it really is a Kessler's. Is that a tiny big-headed carp? Oh my Lanta! What's going on with this wind? That's never happened to me before. But that was a little, a new fish towards qualification or something. So I guess we'll take that. All right, there's a Kessler's. It's kind of freaking me out a little bit. All right, so we're at 151. Sorry, we're at 51, 138 over here in C4. If you fished for these before, you know, like kind of this C4, D4. These are two good spots. There's a lot of Kessler's herring spots that pop up on this map, but along this bank is one of the frequent ones, right? And it's also nice because you can just run here from camp. You don't have to be like buying a boat or anything. By the way, this is a great spot. This is slow enough at the moment that we could put a third rod in because of that wind. This is a great way to level up your float fishing. You can still catch them without sandwich bait if you're still working on leveling up to get sandwich bait unlocked. You can still catch some. Might not be quite as good, but you can still catch them. And I'm not 100% on float fishing. 95.4, so we still have a chance to get points as well, but we do have the old sandwich unlocked. Can't remember which one that is. I think that's 2. Yeah. That's the other thing I've noticed with these Kesslers, and the roach for that matter. We're not missing a ton of bites. It's happened a couple times. You saw like that. I think the first one we cast when I started recording, we actually might have popped it too soon, but these aren't Kesslers especially. Roach will nibble, but Kesslers usually will just kind of take it. So once you see it go under, you're pretty safe to kind of like just pull on it. And if it's been under for a minute, I'll shift pull, just jerk it out of there. And a lot of times you'll still catch them. I've been able to get them even when I've been pulling one in, the other one goes down. Still feel like I have time to grab that other one. Do I have time to do this really quick? Let's see, what would we use? This. Oh, shoot. I don't really know what the, can we do 4.4? No. Well, that's stupid. We don't want to do that. That's too small. Especially with the roach here. I mean, that's just asking for it. Oh, we missed one after I jinxed myself. That was a roach, though. If you miss it, just assume it was a roach. It probably was. It probably was. 2.2. Come on. Come on now. I guess we'd probably use the Blade Master. Honestly. Gives us that 1 gram. We don't want 10. Is 8.2 okay? Maybe. Let's kind of do some backwards stuff here, though. Let's go like 16. Yeah, I just feel like with this bite rate, like, we're fine to do this. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. All right, we'll give it another couple minutes, see if we can catch another fish or two. I'm not going to belabor the point here. The point is, especially if the wind's not freaking out, you can easily catch Kessler's herring and common roach on float. Good place to level your float fishing up. Decent silver, decent XP. You're not, you're not miserable. If you're catching some decent Kesslers, you're going to make some silver. There also happens to be some cafe orders right now that benefit you. Obviously, those won't be available forever, but at the moment, there's one Kessler's cafe order that I think we've even accomplished. What is going on with this one? Nothing. And then there's also like a trophy Kessler's cafe order, so if we happen to get lucky, we would be rewarded with a little extra silver. I think it's like a 70 silver trophy order, which is not unimaginable in this spot right now. I don't know. I think it's the wind. Like, all of a sudden, our bite rate is so much lower. I'm telling you, before the wind, it was pretty snappy. I would have never put the third rod in how quick the bites were a minute ago. Let's just let them float for a minute and see what happens. I assume... Ooh. Wait, wrong one? Dang it. It's the other bad thing about having 3 in, right? Oh, that didn't go where I wanted it to. I just gotta remember that the feather one is the number 2. What's going on with the audio? It just like kicked in again. I think we're getting a bunch of roach bites now. I think we are. All of a sudden we're missing bites, and that's probably because they're roach. Oh, I'm never going to be able to tell the difference now. Alright, 1, 2, 3. It's actually 2, 1, 3. This wind has not died down at all. I mean, it can slow down in the middle of the day like this a little bit, but it's like late morning, about to be noon. Temps might be a little warmer. But I think mostly it's the wind. As soon as the wind started, the bite rate changed. And I don't really know why that is, but it seems to be the case. It's like scared all the Kesslers away. All we've got is roach for a second here. Look how slow they're drifting, though. I mean, it could be that. Maybe the game is programmed to, like, recognize the speed of the drift. And that's screwing with it. I mean, this is so different than what it was before the wind. I mean, as you can see, like, in no time at all. Like, we're sitting here. I've literally fished, like, a few minutes. I fished a little bit in the morning. The day before this. A little bit in the morning. Stepped away, took a break, fished a little bit in the late afternoon just to confirm that everything was working the way I thought it was. And then we started recording at like 8 a.m. or whatever. At first it was fine, wind picked up, then boom. Shut down. Maybe we should try casting more straight out. Is that getting a bite now that it's a little farther down? What the heck? Oh my goodness. This fish must have been on really good for it to still be available. Yeah, so now we're getting a dace. Like, I feel like something has happened. Like, the wind is really messing with the Kesslers or something. Y'all seeing that? Because we have hardly caught any dace. But they were just all sitting there forever. Is that another one? Wow. Could be a time of the day thing. I didn't really test it in the middle of the day, so now I'm not sure. Like, is it time of day thing or is it wind? Seems like it's wind. And truthfully, I was catching the best Kesslers like up here. I mean, the bites were so quick. I was throwing at an angle, and they were, you know, hooking in pretty fast. Oh, crap. All right, let's try something just for a second here. Just cast a little farther. Let's just watch one, see if we get a nibble. I feel like it's drifting a little farther as the wind. Oh, the wind slowed down significantly. All right, this might show us. All right, here, let's put 2 in again. The wind has cut back down. So if we get bite rate again, then we'll notice the wind. If we don't, we know it's probably the time of the day. Just gonna fish with 2 because just with 2 before was killing it. The bite rate was amazing. There we go. There we go. It's the wind. I think it was the wind. Look at this. It's a sitchel. They both went under at the same time. It is a little weird. That's the first sitchel I've caught in this spot, but at least we had a much quicker bite rate on both rods. So that could have just been a random sitchel. I don't know. I like catching sitchel. They're not worth as much as the Kesslers or some of the other small fish that you can catch here at Tuba, but they're awfully fun to catch. A good sitchel spot can be extremely fun. You know, that's the other thing. I forget that you can basically do this same type of fishing at Donitz. But because Donitz came out at a different time, I don't ever think about it. A lot of times right off that main dock at Donitz, though, you can basically do this same type of fishing. Wow. Immediate bite, but then it was gone. I wasn't intending to go this long, but I just want to make sure that we can still catch the Kesslers and that I'm not false advertising. One is cast a little too far right now. I was sticking pretty close to 50%. Too bad. Thought we were going to get 2 there. We did get another marker Kessler's though, so that's a good sign, right? All right, let's feel like I got pushed, kept pushing farther and farther away from my spot there. Alright, we're back in the action here. I might have been off the spot a little too, y'all. Like, I'm not sure. But anyway, here we are. There be Kessler's herrings. And there be roach. Come have fun. It's actually nice. I mean, assuming that those are the roach that fall off so easy. And those are the Kessler's herring that you can catch easier. It's not the end of the world when the roach slips off and the Kessler's herring stays on, right? Now that may not always be the case. And we're missing more bites now than I have been this whole time, but if that is what's happening, then we should be okay with that. Where is it? I can't see it. Alright, there it is. Oh, yeah. That is another big boy. We are at 100 centimeter depth, by the way. I should have said that in the beginning. There we go. Now we're seeing, even if it does get farther down, we're still getting pretty good bites, even drifting further down. Another marker. So good. Let's try to get one more here. See, we're not missing them too often. Oh, so nice. So good. Oh, crap. Gonna land it, and it's another one. Oh, please be a Kessler's. This feels more like a roach, doesn't it? Oh, it's another one. Woo! And because of the rods we're using, these are all gonna count as ultralight, so we get that little pop to the experience. And show up in the at least regional weeklies. That's popped up several times since I started fishing for these. You got to get up into the 1 kilo area to get global weeklies, but for regional and US, just because of the limited numbers doing this, you can land some spots for sure. I mean, we're on a heck of a streak right now, right? That's the bad news about holding it, is I actually pull too quick. We don't really want to pull that quick. But as I think you can see now, the bite rate is good enough that I don't really want 3 rods out there. I don't like that chaotic feeling of missing too many bites because you've got so many rods you're bouncing between. Unless it's a pretty slow bite rate, then to me it's not worth it. We haven't hit a roach in so long. Like, this spot has been significantly better just in terms of not hitting roaches. Now again, some of the roach might have been falling off when I've pulled it, but our rate of Kessler's herring right now is through the roof. Man, they both popped at the same time, but for all we know, this one was a junk one, so I think it was the right move to pull in the one we did. The other thing I was trying was using bark beetle larva as one of the baits. And it was fine, but to me the bite rate was better on this. And you're a little bit more focused. You catch a little bit better rate of Kessler's on these baits, on the mayfly larva and mayfly. Cut it out. All right. Let's go see if the cafe order is still active. Go ahead and sell our fish here. So it's not bad. I really enjoy it. I mean, it's such a change of pace if you're like me and don't do a lot of float fishing. When you find a spot that is, for me at least, more fun like this, it's such a change of pace because I just so seldom do it. So I'm always on the lookout for spots like this because I just think it's so fun. Obviously, you're not, it's different in carp fishing or trolling at Arch or whatever. I mean, it's not going to compare with that, but it's so much better than some of the early game float fishing as far as silver and XP that, it feels like it's pretty fun. So that's 113 silver, but we're going to do a little better than that with the cafe order. So here's the trophy 175. But here's the 3, which, you could sit there and in no time finish that one. And that's 50 silver. So that's crazy good. We are catching dace over there, but unless we targeted them, I don't know if we're going to hit that order very easily. There's a good eastern bream spot here right now, so this order would be pretty easy. But I just don't feel like eastern bream tonight, so I just want to do a little float fishing. Anyway, seems like there's some pretty interesting spots across the game right now. Tomorrow, if it's still active, I kind of want to check out that at Yama, like fishing for burbot and stuff like that at night, bottom fishing, and then head back over to that side creek for some ultralight during the day. That just seems like a fun combo, and I don't know if I know that I've seen some like burbot and stuff spots over there, but I want to see if the two of those together, that could be some pretty fun fishing and pretty good silver, honestly. So we'll see if I've got time tomorrow to check that out, but I'd like to. All right. One more time. Most of the fish were caught on 12 hooks with mayfly larva and mayfly. No, most of the fish were caught on 10 hooks with these two baits, and then I moved to 12 on one and 10 on the other. And when I switched, I didn't notice any difference. Again, I think that those are pretty big hooks for Kessler's herring. Not necessary to go that big, but you can, obviously. When the bite rate's that good, you can. Okay, as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Tight lines.